Hey, what's up guys? Simone here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the fastest growing supplement brands, co-founded by the one and only David Beckham, IM8. And I'm going to show you why I think they are leaving millions of dollars on the table and what I would do to fix it if they came to me as a client and asked for help. For those of you who are new to the channel, I've been building my own e-commerce brands for the past 5 years and scaled them to multiple six figures. And I've helped hundreds of e-commerce owners make their stores profitable by optimizing their website, their offer, and their ads as one connected system. Now let's have a look at IM8 website and let's analyze the landing page, the hero section, and their offer. Then we'll check their ads and see what they're doing very well and where I see a lot of potential for improvement to 10x their profits. IM8 is in the supplement and wellness space, and I want to start by giving them real credit because their core positioning is genuinely smart. Think about how most people actually take supplements. Maybe a multivitamin in the morning, maybe greens powder, something separate for gut health, and maybe even something else for sleep. So it's 5 or 6 different products and 5 or 6 different habits to remember. Now, IM8's entire pitch is, why are you doing all that separately when one product could consolidate most of those benefits into a single daily routine? And before we even open the website, I want to explain why I like this business concept on a fundamental level, because it matters for everything we're about to look at. The supplement market is a massive market, and I don't see it shrinking anytime soon. It's a recurring consumption product, which means it's naturally built for subscription, which means if they execute it well, it's potentially very strong for lifetime value. There's a clear convenience story here. So one product is replacing an entire routine, and they've got a huge amount of social proof to lean on, multiple customer avatars that they could be targeting, and a huge number of different benefit angles to market from. So here's exactly how I'm going to break this down, the same way I'd approach it if this were a client sitting across from me. I'm going to be looking at 3 things: the website and the messaging, the offer and customer journey, and finally the ads and creative strategy, and how they all combine as part of one connected system. So let's get into it. Okay, the very first thing you see when you land on this homepage is David Beckham. And I want you to notice what that does psychologically. Because before I know anything about what this product actually does, before I've read any single benefit, they've already transferred a huge amount of authority onto this brand. And that's not by accident. Now, watch what happens as we keep scrolling, because this is where it gets smart. So this isn't just Beckham. You got NBA players, you got soccer players, tennis players, FA1 athletes. And here's the insight I really want you to take from this. They're not using athletes from a single sport. And why does that matter? Because different people identify with different faces. A soccer fan sees Beckham and feels something immediate. A basketball fan scrolls past and sees an NBA player and they identify with that avatar. So basically, everyone gets a version of someone like me uses this. That's the actual lesson here. So social proof becomes exponentially more powerful when the person providing it represents the exact identity your customer wants for themselves. Now, as we keep scrolling, we find an actual clinical study, verified customer reviews, we find certification, medical experts, doctors, clinician reviews, and it just keeps going and going. And I want to say this clearly. I mean, IM8 does not have a trust problem, full stop. If anything, and this is a more interesting critique, I think they actually have the opposite problem. So they've got so much proof available that they just keep stacking one after the other, when some of the space could instead be used to simplify the actual buying decision. Now, quickly, on the visual side, because I don't want to spend too long here, I think they have strong photograph throughout the whole website. They have bold red branding, and the premium feel really carried consistently across the whole site, if you can see here. Now, let's have a look at their product page. There we go. So one thing I don't really like, if you look right at the top, you can notice this countdown clock ticking down, like there's already a deadline. Now, the funny thing is, I did a test. I came back for a few days in a row, and the clock just resets to the same time every day. So this is a classic dropshipping style tactic that creates fake urgency dressed up as a real promotion. So it's designed to make you decide fast instead of thinking it through. So same things happens with these percentages next to the study results, as you can see here, guys. So numbers like this will vary dropshipping too. As long as they never say 100%, they're not making any medical claim. But here's why it still works on people psychologically, because it feels like science is confirming the benefits. Now, one thing that I think they completely nailed is the images selection. So look at how much they packed into these product images. And there's a real reason for that. Roughly 90% of people who land on this page never scrolls past the hero section. And this happens on pretty much every single e-commerce store. Most visitors just look and leave. So they just look at the hero section. They want to find all the information here, and then they just leave if they don't find what they want. So every message they need to land has to live right here in this first screen. And when you break down what's actually in here, you see social proof with David Beckham right at the top. We have the 16 supplements in one angle, which is basically the whole positioning in one line. A free gift, increasing perceived value before you even scrolled. A clinical study with results and benefits from people who've already used it. The 16 in one breakdown again, but this time is actually a list of what's included in the product. Then we have the ingredients. Then we have a us versus them table comparing exactly why our product is better than the competition. Then we have the instruction of the how to use it. So very simple in this case because it's just a sachet. You open it, you put it in the glass with water, you stir it, and then you're ready to drink it. And then finally, they have even more social proof with Leo Messi. Now let's move into the offer because this is where it starts falling apart. First, there's a review score here, as you can see, and a number of reviews sitting right here. But you can't actually click onto it and see the reviews, which makes me wonder if this is just a text that they wrote themselves. Then I feel like there's just too much text and information all jammed into a small selection, all fighting for space in this tiny area. As you can see, like a lot of information here, a lot of text. And the offer itself isn't clear. I generally don't know what I'm getting if I buy. Is it a sachet? Is it a tub? I mean, nobody tells me. And on top of that, there are way too many flavors to choose from. Look at this, like 4 options. And this is real customer psychology that is called choice paralysis. So if you give people too many choices, they feel stuck because they don't know what to choose. And they end up not buying. And I'd cut this down to 2 flavors so people can choose either A or B. I feel there's also too much math here, like too many numbers. You're asking the client to calculate so many different variables. As you can see here, 90-day supply, €91 a month, 273 billed every 12 weeks, 303 per serving is just too much. And also, most important thing, the one-time purchase option is basically hidden. As you can see, can you see it, guys? It's just this tiny line over here, which makes it feel less like a recommendation and more like they're forcing you to subscribe and get this subscription, either 90-day or 30-day subscription. If I had to make a change, this is how I'd make it dramatically simpler. Option 1, one-time purchase with no gifts, just a 30-day supply to try. So very clean and no pressure. And then option 2, the subscription, where I would actually build real escalating value. So this way you see the discount immediately, you see exactly what you're saving. You get the free starter kit from day 1. And here's the part that makes it work. You show the customer that after 3 months, they unlock another set of free gifts. And after 6 months, even more on top of that, which is exactly what they already have here. You see, after month 3, after month 6. So people know that they're going to get this if they subscribe, plus the free kit. That's a lot of extra value provided to the customer. So the perceived value keeps growing the longer they stay, to the point where not subscribing starts to feel unreasonable. So that's the difference. Instead of hiding the one-time option and quietly pushing people towards subscription, you let the subscription win on its own. So the customer does the math in 5 seconds and picks the subscription. Not because it was the only visible choice, but because it's obviously the better deal out of the two. Now, let's scroll past this and get to the benefits section, because this next part is actually one of the smartest things on the entire website. There we go. And it's worth slowing down for. So they've taken the benefits of this product and they've already segmented it into energy, digestion, sleep, mental performance. Why is this smart? Because a single product just handed them a huge number of completely different marketing angles to test and different target audiences to capture. So it's one product, but with 6 or 7 different angles that can be explored. Now, I want you to actually remember this section, because when we get into the ads in a few minutes, this is exactly where I think they're leaving enormous opportunity on the table. Now, scrolling down towards the end of the page, we can hit the FAQ section. And I think this is generally one of the most underrated parts of any product page, because a good FAQ isn't just there to answer questions. It's here to kill all the objections that are quietly stopping someone from buying. So every question left unanswered is a reason for someone to leave the page instead of hitting purchase. So IM8 did a decent job here. So they have a money back guarantee, how subscription works, third-party tasting, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's what I actually do different. I wouldn't just answer these questions. I'd use every single one as another chance to sell something to the client. So how does the subscription work? It's not just an explanation. It's a chance to make the case of why subscribing is the smartest choice and what you unlock over time. Now, for example, what's in the Beckham stack isn't just there for a list of ingredients, but it could be a chance to reinforce the benefits behind it and upsell the full stack to the client. Now, if we keep scrolling down, there we go. Right at the very end of the page, they've got this risk-free guarantee. So they have 90 days on the quarterly plan and 30 days on the monthly plan. I think this is generally smart because it removes basically the last piece of friction between the customer and the buy button. So you feel like you're not risking anything. You try the product, and if it doesn't work for you, you just send it back and get your money back. So for any product page you guys create, I would always put this risk-free guarantee at the end, just to remove all the friction from the customer before they hit the button buy. All right, guys. Now, let's finally get to what I generally think it's IM8 biggest opportunity by a wide margin, and it's advertising. And here's the part that makes it so interesting. They already own every single asset they need to make incredible ads. They have Beckham, Sabalenka, Dustin Poirier. They have every athlete in every sport. They have doctors, they have clinicians, they have multiple benefit angles, and they have great product visuals. Now, let's have a look at one of the ads. And this is Yanni's ads. If you see here we go. The MVP's most valuable routine, Yanni's choose IM8. Okay, they don't tell me anything about the product. They don't tell me why is it so good. They don't tell me why he uses it. Let's just have a look at the video quickly. Now, this video has a real problem. It doesn't give the customer any reason to buy. It just shows Yanni shooting a basketball, and the copy doesn't say anything about the product itself. They have a really great asset, but they lost an opportunity to really make a difference in delivering the message. So Yannis doesn't matter simply because he's in the video. He matters because the customer watching wants some version of the identity, the performance, or the discipline that he represents. Think about how Nike sells shoes for a second. They never spend any time explaining how good the shoes are or talking about the shoe material or cushioning technology. They sell you the identity that comes with the performance. IM8 has every ingredient needed to do exactly the same thing. Sell the customer what they want to become, not just the product sitting in front of them. So here's how I'd fix it. First, I would pick just one problem, so one pain point, and build the entire advertising around it. The copy would talk about that specific problem, then explains how the product solves it, and why. Then you bring in the social proof. Top athletes use this product as part of their routine to get X, and X could be any dream result that matches the pain point you just named. And visually, I show Yannis actually opening the product, using it. Then I will show him performing better because of it, shooting, dunking, moving with energy. And I would then choose the video with Yannis delivering. This is how I would create a very well structured creative for my campaigns. Now, the second ad I want to show you is this skeleton ad created with AI. Okay, it's already gone. So the new was shit. Let's have a look at this just quickly, the first few seconds.
If a man whose weekend beers have turned into weeknight beers took one sachet of IM8 every morning for 3 weeks, this is what would change. After the first few days, his gut starts to settle. That's digestive enzymes and spore-forming probiotics tackling the gut inflammation caused by regular drinking and elevated cortisol. No more heaviness or bloating after meals. At the same time, his body begins to recover. Curcumin and the mushroom complex support the body's natural detox process.
Okay, we got the idea. Now, the format itself is working right now in e-commerce very, very well because it shows the product consumption and how it will change your life over the span of 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, and so on. However, in this case, I would never use an AI-generated skeleton for this. I mean, it looks cringy as shit. I mean, they have some of the best athletes in the world, and most brands can only dream of having VIP athletes and top performers as sponsors. So I strongly believe they should use them in their ads. And here's the biggest fix. If you have a look at their copy, they just put every single angle into one. So drinking problem, workflow, gut problems, inflammation. I mean, they just talk about everything. Here's the biggest fix I would do. Just pick one pain point per every single ad and not 5. Then take the same format, duplicate it into 3 or 4 or 5 separate creative, and keep each one of them built around one single different pain point and a different dream result. It could be energy, it could be sleep, gut health, recovery, inflammation, anything that they want. Each ad has to talk to one specific avatar so the person watching feels like it was made for them and not for everyone. And this does something else for you. It actually lets you do some testing when it comes to advertising. So you can run all these ads and see which pain point performs best. Then double down on the winner, recreate the winning ad as variants. So you can use different hooks, different CTA, a different athlete, or just use the same exact message, but just in different formats. And that's how you turn one good idea into a real testing strategy instead of a single ad that you're hoping that it just works, just because you have a pretty face in the ad. So let me be very precise about my actual criticism here. My issue is that I cannot see a clear creative testing roadmap running behind any of this. There's no visible system. They need a specific avatar they want to talk to, a problem they try to solve, a specific angle, and a call to action. I feel that the brand has all the numbers to be top tier, but they use a very poor ad strategy and creation, almost as if their creative team was not at the same level as all the other departments. For a brand like this, I would expect the creative team to be up to scratch, knowing exactly what works and what doesn't. So here's my honest overall take, having gone through all of this. I actually think IM8 is a very strong brand. The product positioning makes sense. The visual identity is excellent. And the level of social proof on this side is honestly second to none. They build serious medical authority around this product, and they have access to marketing assets that most e-commerce brands could only dream of. But, and this is the most important part, here is where I think they're genuinely leaving money on the table. It's not the brand itself, it's how efficiently everything is being communicated to the customer. So if I were sitting down to actually work on this brand, here are the 3 things that I would do in order. So number 1, I would simplify the product page. I would fix the review score so people can actually verify it, cut the offer down to what matters, and use the FAQ to keep selling instead of just answering questions. Number 2, I would simplify the offer. I would cut the flavors down to just 2 and make the one-time option just as visible as the subscription. And I would just let the subscription win because of real escalating value and not because it's the only clear choice. And number 3, honestly, the biggest opportunity of the 3, build an actual creative testing roadmap. Stop mixing 5 pain points into one ad and hoping that something lands, but just pick one problem, one avatar, and one dream result per each creative. Use your top athletes as your main assets, but also to show the customer what they can achieve if they consume the product. Then instead of one ad trying to cover everything, just duplicate it into 3 or 4 creatives. Each one speaking to a different pain point and a different avatar. Then test them, find the winners, then multiply those winners with different hooks, different CTA, different athletes, different formats. And that's a system. What they have right now is just random content mixed up together and hoping that something works. So if I have to summarize the whole thing in one line, I think IM8 doesn't need more social proof. They don't need more doctors. They don't need more athletes or more products. What I think they actually need is to simplify what's already there, make the offer make sense, and turn the advertising into a testing machine that works from day one. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments which brand you want me to break down next. And if you're running an e-commerce store, tell me your biggest problem that you're dealing with right now and any topics that you want to see me cover next. And if you already have an e-commerce brand, but you're struggling to make it profitable, there's a link below in the description where you can apply to work with me directly. If you qualify, I'll go through your landing page, your offer, your ads, and your customer journey, and I will hand you back a specific roadmap built around your actual brand. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.